Welcome dear students to another class of English. Today we will start the first uh, first flight lesson 7, glimpses of India, which is divided into three parts, and each one is written by Lucio Rodrick, Lokesh Ebro, and Arup Kumar Lalla. So these three parts we will see the glimpses of India is part of history, you can say, wherein Indian history, what has happened in past. So here the baker from Goa, as you know, baker is a person who bakes breads and other you know bakery items. So from Goa, that is Lucio Rodriguez has written. First, we will see that part, and subsequently the other parts also. So, what images of people and places come to your mind when you think of our country? What part of India have you lived in or visited? Can you name your popular tourist destinations? You may know that part from the British, the Dutch, and the French and Portuguese have also played a part in the history of our country. We studied that for how many years these people, foreigners ruled our country, and that time the culture, our culture, Indian culture, was affected by that. Can you say which part of India grew tea and coffee? These are the basic questions, that you know and studied in the SS portion. Now we'll see a baker from in Goa. This is a pen portrait of a traditional Goan village baker who still has an important place in this society. So here, pen portrait himself, the Goan traditional Goan village baker himself has written. Our elders are often heard reminiscing nostalgically about those good Portuguese days. Reminiscing means, nostalgically means things fondly of the past. What a days we were having, and those were, that type of feeling. The Portuguese and the of famous loaves of bread, loaf. The plural of loaf is loaves of bread. Those eaters of loaves might have vanished, but the makers are still there. Those people who were eaters of these loaves itself, bakery item. Nowadays we eat, these loaves, which are available in the local bakeries, and we get it at our breakfast. So the molders and other who bake the loaves are still, those age-old, time-tested furnaces still exist. Furnace in which the bakery items were baked, that was really something that was at that time very popular. But still, this same system of furnace used in this baking done is also still existing. The fire in the furnace has not been extinguished. The thud and the jingle of the traditional baker's bamboo, he used to thumb the bamboo and jingle in order to alert people that the baker has come in the morning, heralding his arrival in the morning. Heralding means announcing that I have come, get my buns and other loaves of bread that I've baked for you, come and get it. Maybe the father is not alive, but the son still carries in the family profession. So generations after, there is no father, he is dead, but the sons have done taken care of this family profession. These bakers were even today known as padar in Goa. During this childhood in Goa, the baker used to be our friend, companion, and guide. He used to come at least twice a day, once when he set up in the morning in his selling round, and then again when returned after emptying his huge basket. So morning till evening he used to sell this in his basket. The jingling thud of the bamboo woke us up from the sleep, and we ran to meet and greet him. Meeting and greeting this padar who is selling the bread loaves, and the writer, he is very small. At that time, he says that we used to run. Why was it so? What it was it for the love of the loaf? We like the loaf. That is why we ran to this pillar. Not at all. The loaves were brought by some Paskin or a Baskin, the maid servant of the house. Some maid servant used to get it. That loaves. What we longed for was the bread bangles which he chose carefully. Sometimes it was sweet bread of special make. So other items which were we ourselves needed, or we enjoyed it, or we wanted, for that we used to wake up for this baker to arrive, and we used to go to him. The baker made his musical entry on the scene with jung jung sound of his specially made bamboo staff. One hand supported the basket of his head, and the other banged the bamboo. That way he used to proceed to the streets. He would greet the lady of the house with good morning, and then place his basket on the vertical bamboo. The bamboo he was able to put the basket, that type of bamboo it was. We kids would be pushed aside with a mild rebuke, and loaves would be delivered to the servant. छोटे बच्चे परेशान करते तो hey हटो हटो करके they used to rebuke and move them away from his business. He used to sell, and these children used to harass him. That is why. But he would not give up. We would climb a bench of the parapet. See, rebuke spelling meaning is given an expression of disapproval or scolding and fragrances. And the parapet is the railing wall, the wall which is low. They will used to get into and see what is there in the basket. Somehow I can still recall the typical fragrance of those loaves. Steamed hot brought from the furnace, and it's hot and it gives us the steam, that hot steam. That smell still is that he still remembers. Typical fragrance, typical means the scent that is typical of a loaves. Give your mother cooks food or a chapati. At that time, the smell of the chapati being roasted, it gives a typical smell. And then you come to know loaves for the elders and the bangles for the children. Then we did not even care to brush our teeth or wash our mouths properly. Children, they want the things they want to eat. They don't care for brushing your teeth and all that. And why should we? And as a small child, the writer, he recalls that as a small child he used to say that why should we brush our teeth? Who would take the trouble of plucking the mango leaf from the for the toothbrush? The mango leaf, they used to with that brush toothbrush. And why was it necessary at all? Why it is necessary? What is the need for brushing teeth? They don't know about the hygiene of our teeth, and so such questions are raised by the children. The tiger never brushed his teeth. The argument saying tiger as an animal doesn't brush his teeth. Hot tea would wash and clean up everything so nicely after all. And we as humans, tiger, what it does we don't know, but we as humans, we do clean up. The hot tea gets into action when you drink it, and it cleans up whatever teeth cleaning is necessary. Marriage gifts were meaningless without the sweet bread brought at the ball. Just as a party of a feast loses its charm without a bread, not enough can be said to show how important a baker can be for the village. It was the baker's importance in the village was also during the time of the marriage ceremony. The lady of the house must prepare sandwiches on the occasion of a daughter's engagement. Cakes and bolinhas are a must for Christmas as well as other festivals. Thus, the presence of baker's furnace is in the village is absolutely essential. Here, the importance of the baker in context of the marriage ceremonies along with the Christmas, that is important as far as this paragraph is concerned. The baker or A bread seller of those days had a peculiar dress known as the kabai. It was a single piece long frock reaching down to the knees. So, what is the measure of the this kabai that was being worn? Is given, it's loose, and it's like a frock reaching to the knees. In our childhood, we saw bakers wearing a shirt and a trouser which was shorter than full length ones and longer than half pants. Even today, anyone who wears a half pant with which reaches just below the knees invite the comment that he is dressed like a pada. So short pants those are wearing are called still pada in Goa. The baker usually collected his bills at the end of the month. Now, collection of the money, always the person who serves you on a daily basis, like milkmen, this vegetable vendors, sometimes the kirana shop, they do the calculation at the end of the day. They write in the diaries and all that, and make a record of it. But here, this is typical of this. You can see monthly accounts used to be recorded on some wall in pencil. On the wall, the pencil with the pencil the mark was done that this day this many loaves were taken, this many cakes were taken on this marriage, or this many on this particular occasion, or Christmas, all that things. Baking was indeed a profitable profession in the old days. Baking was profession was what was it was profitable. Some business are not always profitable, but here the baker's business in those days were profitable. Why? The baker and his family never starved. They never starved. Obviously, whatever remained at the end of the day, the bread and the other bakery items which they sold, if that was unsold, then it was easy for them to get for themselves. They ate. His family and his servants always looked happy and prosperous. Their plump physique was an open testimony to this. हट पे इकट्ठे होते थे ना वो लोग, तो फ्रॉम दैट वी कैन मेक इट आउट कि दिस टेस्टिमनी होते हैं. द प्लम फिजिक मीन्स pleasantly fat body, lot of fat. And open testimony means public statement about his character or quality. Open testimony means people say that ये लोग ऐसे ही होते हैं, तो like that anyone will say yes, they will agree, and that is open testimony that the plum body made it that he is they are rich and what you can doing a good profitable business, and at the same time they are also well to do in context of their health. And even today, any person with a jackfruit like physical appearance is easily compared to a baker. So with this we completed the first part of the glimpses of India lesson 7. We will start the second and third in the next session. Till then, goodbye.